Hello, everybody. This is Trevor, and thank you for coming to my channel. If you could please like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. Watch my videos right till the very end, because quite often my videos, I tell you what grinds my gears and what challenges I see in the world. And towards the end is mainly where I put in my solutions. So please watch till the very end. Comment. Obviously, I enjoy the positive comments, constructive criticism, trolling comments. You give me a good laugh, so that helps as well, too. So I appreciate everyone that's come to my channel thus far. And you're supporting. Well, I just want to talk about this just for a little bit before I get into the story here. But you are supporting, like, I'm an independent journalist. I am a one-man show. Okay, I am the producer, I'm the editor, I'm the journalist, I am everyone, okay? I don't have that FU money to hire anyone. It's all me. I am a one-man show, and I know that you're not going to get the glamour and glitz and the fancy editing, the music, and the fancy intros, and the AI created thumbnails and whatnot. Like, it's raw. I'm unedited. This is what you get. And I know that a lot of people are like, they want, and I like Joe Rogan. I like, Patrick Bet-David and whatnot, but I don't have their FU money, but I do have ideas, and I share ideas that are just as important, just as big, and just as good as those shows that have that FU money. So the more support that you give me and the support that you're giving me along the way, I have been able to, upgrade a few things in my little studio down here. But, if you like what I'm doing, you like what I'm saying, it's raw, it's unedited, it's a one-man show. If you like it, try to help. But, share the videos and do all that other stuff, the like and comment. It greatly helps me. And I reinvest everything that I can make into the show. And I know it's not very much. People are like, well, I try to upgrade my camera and whatnot, and my, the video audio quality. I do my best. I do my best to make sure is the best that I can afford to buy. And, I would love to be able to hire a producer, someone who can do all the technical stuff. I'll be honest, I'm not great at that, okay? I'm not great. As you can see, my videos, raw, unedited. This is, it's just me sharing ideas, my opinions, and how I see it. And I infuse that with, with people who I have learned from along the way in my life. And I'll be 51 tomorrow. So November 23rd is my 51st birthday. So, along the way, like the people who I've admired, like Socrates, Ayn Rand, Milton Friedman, Murray Rothbard, Lysander Spooner, Henry David Thoreau, there's just a wide range of people. J.R.R. Tolkien. Just a plethora of people who I admire, and I love their work, and I incorporate the things that I like best from these people, and I put it into who I am, and I produce my shows. And as a one-man gang right now, I'm giving you the best I can, and I'm glad for everyone. I'm tickled pink for everyone who has subscribed, who hits the thumb up, and shares and comments, and is, growing in the journey with me here. And I appreciate everyone. And, I appreciate everyone. And again, the more money I make, the more I can reinvest and, get a fancier studio and better cameras and microphones and whatnot. I will do that. So support me. You like the raw, unedited one-man show? Great. One day I hope to have a producer. I could say, I need you to do this, this, and this. I am the independent journalist, and I need you to be my tech geek. That's what I need. So I'm hoping, and everybody's supporting, and it is helping to grow, and I greatly appreciate. So, holy crap, that's a 5-minute intro, asking for help and being very grateful and appreciative of everyone who has helped. So, okay, there we go. That being said, thank you very much. Today's show, it's an anniversary date. It's not a good anniversary date at all. 60 years ago today, November 22nd, 1963, John Fitzgerald Kennedy was assassinated. He was assassinated, the President of the United States. And whether you believe he was assassinated by the lone gunman, the Lee Harvey Oswald, that's fine. I'm not really here to get into, who killed him or whatnot. I'm going to bring out the ideas. Lee Harvey Oswald, from the book Suppository, shot him in the head. That's, it's a theory, I think. It could be real. There's also other things I would like to bring up about it. I think that JFK, he was truly a president who wanted to drain the swamp, okay? There's another president, you probably know who the guy said drain the swamp. I don't think he necessarily did it. But I think, whatever. Trump maybe could have done it. Maybe he needed 2 terms to do it. But I think JFK was really, truly ready to drain the swamp. He was wanting to reform the alphabet clubs. Now, if you're not familiar with the term alphabet clubs, CIA, FBI, DOJ, just name them, whatever, the alphabet clubs. And these clubs they basically have a major part in running a country. And unfortunately, these organizations, they are led by unelected people. Okay, these are people that are, hired from within, hired without, buddies and family members, whatnot, hiring the people they want in there. They're not elected officials. So I think JFK, and he didn't want to get into Vietnam. I think he was the last great president that the United States had, okay? And I would like to see United States get back into having another great president, like a JFK. And I know I've had people question, Trevor, what do you care? What do you care? You're Canadian. But you know what? I do care, and you have to care. Well, first of all, you have to care about politics, philosophy, economics. If you're not, I don't know, you're a waste of space, I guess. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing with your life if you're not interested in politics, philosophy, economics? Like, you're not interested in the world around you. I don't understand. I guess you just, working 9 to 5 until you die. I guess that's all you want. But I think there's more to life than that. So however you feel or you think that John F. Kennedy was assassinated, whoever you felt did it, I do come down on the side. I think it was a bit more than Lee Harvey Oswald that assassinated this fine president. I think there's a lot more to it than that. Just from looking into what JFK wanted to do, the direction he wanted to take America. Okay, however he was assassinated, it's done. It was a done deal. It is important to know who did it. I think it's important to know, but I wonder if the public could really handle that. I'm not sure. It's like alien disclosure. I don't know how much people can handle that. But so anyways, yeah, people are like, Trevor, you're Canadian. I go, well, I'm connected to the United States as a Canadian. We are connected. We are trading partners. And a lot of my shows, I talk about, like the UK. I have a great friend who I do a show with, Third Rail Radio, Ben Emlyn Jones. Really great friend of mine. He's from the UK. So we talk about UK, Canada, and the United States. Like these three countries are like we're connected. We're connected. We're somewhat similar. I mean, as a Canadian, I could go and live and work in the United States with pretty much no problems. I could move to the UK. I like there's no huge barriers. Okay, in terms of like laws and cultures and whatnot living. Like I could I'd have to learn if I moved to Edinburgh, Scotland. I'd have to learn some of the ways, right? But I being a Canadian again, like we're similar. So yes, I do like to talk about other countries obviously than Canada here. And I do. If you do know me, you've watched my shows, like I think the greatest nation ever was America. And I say was because this is where it ties into my show of JFK. I feel like America, and which obviously Canada and UK connect into this as well, has been slipping since the day freedom died. The song comes to my head, the day the music died, American Pie. The day that freedom almost seemed to really die seemed to happen to me, as I see it, on November 22nd, 1963. Because look at what's happened since 1963 in America. And again, this ties into Canada, UK. We've had a massive ramp up in the welfare state and the warfare state. Just a massive amount of spending. And I'm going to examine like the welfare state since the death of JFK. Because again, I don't want to really talk about who assassinated him, how, and all that. I mean, everyone's got their theory. I got a bit of theory on that, as I just told. But what I really want to focus on is the direction that America, Canada, UK have gone since the horrific day that JFK was assassinated. So you go back, and I feel like things like civil rights movements, any kind of movement, whatever movement you're in, can be ended economically. And I believe they were being ended economically and through, downsizing a government, which is what I think JFK would have liked to have done. Try to not necessarily get rid of like the CIA or anything, but at least make it more accountable. Perhaps some kind of desizing it, shrinking it, and whatnot. But yeah, you've definitely had a turn in America, and the ramping up of the welfare state and the warfare state as well too. I mean, with JFK. Excuse me. With the assassination of JFK, you had Lyndon Johnson come in. LBJ, he took over, and right away, you had Vietnam. I mean, he just couldn't wait to get into Vietnam, and I think he wanted to get also ramp up. So he ramped up the warfare state, ramping up the welfare state with keeping, saying to people, we'll hand out the welfare checks, basically, right? He made people a dependent class. Rather than, I think with JFK, and he's wanting people, hey, make America great by making yourself great. And Lyndon Johnson, and since then, it's kind of like, well, I guess, make yourself great. But if you can't, don't worry about it. We'll just hand out the money. We'll print the money. we'll tax it away from hardworking people. And I feel like it's just an erosion of the middle class. Since 1963, November 22nd, boom, that day. Things have just gone downhill. Canada, taxation has gone to levels of, especially here in Canada. That's why I look at the United States. People are like, oh, well, you're Canadian, what? Well, I look at the United States as the last bastion of freedom. And to me, as well, there are parts in the United States that are more free than other states. And I'll explain that in a minute. I go back to Canada during, Mr. 19. It didn't matter where you lived in Canada. Yukon, New Brunswick, Ontario, British Columbia, didn't matter. Mr. 19 and the Canadian government suspended our social contract. So the government's like, we have a social contract with the government, supposed to be maintained by politicians. Sorry, I just about threw up there because that's not how it works, but it's supposed to be how it works. But at least, so yeah, it didn't matter. Mr. 19 rolled around. It's like, your social contract suspended. Okay. Which kind of makes me think, what's the next crisis, emergency that's going to pop up in Canada to make the politicians just suspend the social contract again? So I point back to United States' social contract, your Constitution, your Bill of Rights. At least in different states, those things were upheld. I'll take California. Your constitutional rights, your social contract that we're supposed to, I guess, adhere to as citizens, null and void. But in other states, now I think Florida took a little bit longer to get the whole social contract back working for the people, but it eventually did. I liked Arizona, Wyoming, Tennessee, Texas. There was a plethora of states that I think that were like, okay, 2 weeks is done, everything's back open, and it really didn't show that doing opening was any worse or better than other states like New York, Illinois, and California that were just introducing Mr. 19 mandates, that were just ridiculous. So what I like about the United States is at least we got to see the world in terms of freedom during Mr. 19. And definitely I'm like, Canada, no. There's no freedom left here. We don't have First and Second Amendment rights. The social contract that we have, the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, which was written by Justin Trudeau, who's the current prime minister. It was written, partly by his dad, Pierre Trudeau. So, I mean, Canada's not where it's at. America is still where this is why, like, obviously, as I see it, and everything that's happened since the assassination of JFK, America has gone down. It's gone down in obviously, I mean, I don't think that the social contract's always upheld, but it was somewhat upheld in some states. So I think that was positive during Mr. 19. But taxation, the price of gas. You look at the price of gas up until, it took a few years after JFK's assassination, but up until like 1972, 1973 is really when gas prices took a huge, massive jump. But really, 30 cents for a gallon of gas back then, it was really cheap. And then, it's been a steady incline since 1972, definitely 73. So it's going down, but it can come back. It can come back. Okay. America can come back. And when America comes back, America is the best goddamn place out there. Okay. And it should be a beacon of hope, a bastion of freedom for everyone on this planet. Because we're on this planet, you can practice whatever religion you want. You can be whatever gender you want. You can do so many things in America that you couldn't do in other parts of the world. Canada, UK, we're connected, but it's still, America's the best for all, best for whatever you want to be, whatever you want to do, okay? There's other parts of the world where you absolutely couldn't say, I'm an atheist, or I'm gay or lesbian, or, I want to do this and that. There's parts of the world like, no, you do what we say, or you get deleted. So these another reason why America's the greatest place ever. It's the goddamn greatest place ever. But it has been going down for the last 60 years. But it can turn around. And what it does, it needs an influx of people. Well, hey, like myself, the pioneer spirit. The pioneer spirit needs to be reinvigorated into the United States. I mean, I don't know, Canada, UK, other places. I don't know if if it can be done, but definitely United States can turn around. It's just going to take a stoic person to say, I'm going to, be president and govern on the principles of the Bill of Rights, United States Constitution. I'll adhere to freedom of speech and the right to bear arms, and the right to a speedy and fair trial and whatnot. Like all this stuff, all that is very important. And if we're going to have social contracts, then we need politicians, okay, who are going to be put in place that will adhere to these qualities. And I don't know. I definitely think in the last 60 years since JFK has been assassinated that these things are being eroded. And it's just, yeah, we need to turn the ship around because it needs to be turned around. And JFK, I think, was the last hope for America and a president to actually, I think he really did want to drain the swamp. And, yeah, that's it. I don't really know. I mean, again, yeah, you can have your theories on how and who assassinated him. I think he did make a many great deal of enemies in the alphabet clubs, which, I think they, someone got to him. They didn't like what he was going to do or not going to do, like by getting into Vietnam and whatnot. So, yeah, just a huge ramping up of the welfare and warfare state. So, how do we end that? Well, we have to get involved in politics, learn economy, learn philosophy. These are my solutions. Look into people like Murray Rothbard and Milton Friedman, Ayn Rand, Socrates, Lysander Spooner, Henry David Thoreau, all these people I mentioned in the beginning. Look into these people, learn, and take an interest in, politics. We have to. You have to take an interest in this. And I think people are being led down a path of laziness. And that's definitely with the welfare system that's been ramped up over the past 60 years. And again, the warfare state too. I mean, that's, that's not good either. I have made videos on solutions to what I think that how we can deal with like a warfare state in terms of like Ayn Rand would say, like, we need policing, military, and courts. But I've actually never heard her say, well, how much government is necessary in those key areas, because we shouldn't have government in any other area. But I don't know if a politician today would actually come out and say, they couldn't. They shouldn't, but they can't, but they should. And we need to start electing people that are actually going to just adhere by a social contract. Okay, so that's my take on JFK. What a horrible day. 60th anniversary. Not a good anniversary. And I think that America, and definitely because Canada, UK, we're all intertwined there, have been on a downhill slide since then. And I'd like to reverse the course. So get into thinking about politics, think about economics and philosophy, and just research, and figure out how you can really get these welfare and warfare mongers out of our lives so that we can all be productive. Okay, thank you very much again. I appreciate everyone who's listened to me ramble on up to this point. I'm a one-man show, so I do the best I can, and I appreciate everyone who's helped me thus far. And thank you very much. Okay, have a great day. Bye-bye.